on. Let's get that camera down. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Mario Maker Mornings. I'm your host, Patrick Klepek, who will definitely not be spending the morning looking at Twitter in one eye and playing Mario Maker in the other. No, sir. No, sir. That won't be happening. Let's plank. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We will not be planking on the... Exercise is weird because you do it and then you feel fine and then you wake up the next day and that's how your stomach feels. Thank you, Potato Knot, for subbing. All right, let's pick up where we left off. Thank you, C. Dutson, for subbing. 3 months, esports. New notifications. What's up? People taking my world records. Cool. Thanks. That's what? Excuse Ben? Which one was this? You know, you know what though? I'm impressed. I'm impressed that Ben beat it. Close this. I haven't bought those Twitch lights. I need them Twitch lights. But I didn't buy any. Ben heard me call like into the void that they're cowards and that they're not capable of being the levels that I take on. And in this case, I did. Thank you, Mark Ellerby. Appreciate it. I'll bring up my window. Let's see. Did this keep the course we were playing? Boop, 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 boop. No. Oop. Alright, Nightbot's got it. G9. Ooh, that's tiny. G9. Well, it's okay. I don't need to pay attention to what's happening at Congress. I'll just keep getting messages from Brad Shoemaker, keeping me abreast of what's happening. Don't worry, I have my own private news feed, curated by Brad. Rainbow Train is back on tracks, harder and deadlier than ever before. Assume points out the shoe feed. Alright, we're gonna have to kind of... Whew. So we had, we made it halfway through the level? Maybe a little more than halfway? Oh my, I don't care, Icarus. So glad to have this stream while I wait to have my gallbladder removed. Well, I hope that goes well. Good luck to your gallbladder. Congratulations to Raging Beagle, probably. I presume between Friday and now you've had your child. If not, I am sorry to your wife. Ah, there's a picture in the Discord. Heck yeah. Okay, alright. It's actually kind of warm out today. It's nice. We've had some really cold weather in the Midwest. gallbladder. So like, what happens when you have a gallbladder removed? I mean, obviously surgery, but like, I had my appendix removed. I was in high school and I was at a guitar center with a friend. All of a sudden, my stomach started hurting really badly, and so they took me home, and it still really hurt. So my parents brought me to the emergency room. They took a look at me, and they didn't notice anything wrong. So they just gave me like some like really powerful pain meds and said, cool, well, you know, come back tomorrow, we'll check it out. I'm like, great. And so I felt fine in the morning. Went to the hospital. They did, you know, another little peek inside, and they were like, oh, you know, doctor comes in. He's like, how you feeling? I was like, I feel good. I guess it was just something, you know, weird. Excuse. Progress, though. Comes in and goes, how many weeks you got before you go back to school? I was on summer vacation at the time. I'm like, oh, you know, just looking forward to the last couple of weeks, not looking forward to going back to school, yada yada. He's like, well, how would you feel if you spent the last couple of weeks recovering from appendix surgery? And I was like, well, that seems terrible. He's like, yeah, you're going into emergency surgery. In an hour or less, your appendix is going to explode, and that would be bad. I'm like, oh, that would, yeah, that would be bad. So that's how I found out I was spending the last of my summer vacation in a hospital. And they like literally 10 minutes from him informing me of that information, I was knocked out and going into emergency surgery. Which is fine, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. Came out okay. My appendix, I mean. Well, when your appendix explodes, it's like basically like a sack of poison just going straight into your body. And an appendix explosion won't like necessarily kill you, but it absolutely can. Ah, sakes. Dr. Karate 98, your doctor essentially, who's got 2 thumbs and about to remove your appendix? This guy. Yeah, pretty much. And then, you know, they're getting me all, you know, prepping me for surgery really, really quickly. And the nurse is trying to put it in IV and was having some trouble getting it into my arm. And then, like, hit my vein in a weird way. And sort of like out of a horror movie, like some blood kind of splurted out. Just like it was a squib. And my dad just looks at my mother and goes, no, yeah, I don't want anything to do with this, and just left the room. just saw the blood and said, have fun, Patrick, your mom's here, good luck. He just had a weird thing about blood. I'd never seen it. I'd heard that was true. And then faced with the crushing reality of supporting their son or dealing with their blood trauma, my father left. Super Craze. Thanks for supporting the channel. So we gotta jump over that, and then I'm gonna have to jump again, and then you're gonna have to hit like those little not Goombas are waiting for me. And I don't really know what that platforming sequence is gonna be like. Iron Spy says, when I had my wisdom teeth taken out, the last thing I heard the ortho say was, who's up for some beers and hot dogs? When I had my wisdom teeth removed, it was the first time that I'd gone under. And, you know, so they put me under for the surgery. And then, you know, when you wake up from that, from wisdom teeth surgery, you're just out of your mind. Like you are, you're basically like the equivalent of completely drunk. And I remember telling my mother told me, because I do not remember any of this, so that I came out of the wisdom teeth treatment and then kept claiming that I could drive the car. I was like, I can drive, I'm fine. Leave me alone. And she was like, you're not fine. It's like, you told me when you came out of the surgery that you were seeing double. And my response to that was like, Mom, I'll just close one eye. Which I think is, if nothing else, pretty funny. Stinker. Really got stinker in my brain because it's the word that's like my daughter's new favorite word. When she wants to tease you, you're a stinker. Oh, that's just a bummer. Sigma Factor, there was a doctor in Antarctica that had a ruptured appendix and did his own surgery with local anesthetic. No. I heard about that recently. I don't know where, on some podcast. Oh, I had it. I had it. Late Night Rec. Just wanted to say thank you. Thanks to you and Abby's rave reviews of Ring Fit Adventure, I picked up on Friday and haven't missed a day since. Not a small dude, and has given me a way to get healthy while being fun. That's really fantastic to hear, Late Night Rec. I hope it works out for you. I don't know if you've gotten to planking yet, but you might reverse your opinion on the game. I actually had a P-scope this morning about Ring Fit Adventure, kind of clarifying part of what I love about it the most is that I've always been someone that like runs occasionally, but finds an enormous amount of like guilt, shame, and embarrassment in trying to do other kinds of exercise because I don't know how to do it. The notion of getting a personal trainer, like I just like terrified me. And so Ring Fit Adventure being something like doesn't judge, helps you understand posture and mechanics. Like has taken a lot of like guilt and shame out of exercising. And I think that's like one of its sort of like greatest accomplishments as a piece of software. Coffee and tacos. Personal trainers are also quite expensive. Yeah, my thought has always been from the, like, I wouldn't get a personal trainer. Like, I don't necessarily need the motivation to keep going. For me, it was always like, how do I just understand what to do? And so my fear always came out of, like, not just, like, looking goofy and stupid in front of someone else, and so I just never did it. So it'd be like, in my head, it's like, oh, you would hire a personal trainer for a week to, like, give you a routine, tips, and understanding of what to do. But I just never did it because I can never quite get over the personal sort of fear of it. Come on! Come on! An 8-man. Does this have one clear condition? Don't die before the end. Yeah. I think if I could pick between, like, something, like, really fancy to have, like a personal trainer or a personal chef, I go personal chef. I think that'd be, like, the route I go. I feel like I could climb the mountain of exercise. But give me someone who makes my food. Come on! Jump on! Would personal chef, also trainer, very good username for this conversation. Would personal chef help you keep track of calories? No. I want more kinds of food, and I don't want to make it. I've been fortunate to have a high enough metabolism combined with... Man, that jump is tough. Combined with the exercise that I do, that weight gain has not been a struggle for me. It is like a consistent issue in my family, so it is not as though there's some magical Klepek gene. My dad was someone who was extremely skinny the vast majority of his life, and then got the quintessential Midwest dad belly as life went on, and so it's sort of been my personal mission to avoid that. But on both my mom and dad's side of the family, there's a long history of heart disease on the male side, and I hope to avoid that, or at least increase my chances. Oh, man. Bacon Hound. I'd like a personal trainer. I hope I'm not boasting, but my wife does an excellent job of cooking for me. Man, boast. That was me for most of my life, and then we had a kid, and then I started cooking. Having someone in the house, like, whoever is the one that bears the responsibility, or if you're lucky enough, they enjoy cooking. Milkshakes. This is a long question. As a father of 2 young ones who lives on a very tight budget that would never be able to afford a good computer, possibly the next round of consoles, do you think the thought of Stadia might be for someone like me? Definitely possible. You know, I think like Stadia right now is not for anyone because there's just not much to play. But I do think the notion of renting a computer and being able to play games is a really compelling notion, and I think that's going to be something that appeals to a lot of people. And whether the solution for any one person is Stadia or not, I don't know. I will say I haven't had a chance to test it out yet. I haven't even gotten access, but after writing about Stadia, I got contacted by a company, I think they're called Shadow, and basically, so with Stadia, you're like spinning up a random computer right? Like that is operating the game with this company called Shadow. Like you're renting out a specific computer, and whereas Stadia is like games are ported to Stadia, with Shadow, you're renting a high-end PC, and that high-end PC is being spit right out to you. So you're just like, you're renting a high-end PC for like $25 a month. And unlike Stadia, where the PC model is static, like games are being ported to Stadia, with Shadow, they guarantee they will keep upgrading the PC you're renting with higher end hardware. Like you will always have the best GPU on the market or something like that. I don't know if that's specifically the promise, but that's like inherently sort of what they're promising. This is this jump is really difficult. I have been holding R and holding right and trying to jump. But I do not understand the timing. I'm getting a lot better at this sequence, though. Milkshakes, how do you pick games with that service? Yeah, it doesn't, like, tap into your Steam account like something like GeForce Now or whatever, GeForce, the NVIDIA one. I haven't done the research on the service. I'm supposed to get, like, contacted with an account to mess with sometime today. But I think it's fascinating because now I'm interested in trying all the different alternatives now that Stadia sort of like is a big flag in the ground, and I wonder if there are existing services that might make more sense to people. I don't know. You just gotta keep going, son. That's progress, though. All right, that's progress. Down to 9 seconds. I feel like I should just hold right coming out of it, because I need to build some consistency there, so that often consistency is not built out of something I could even articulate. It's really just my fingers doing, just internalizing like a set of movements, and so it would even be difficult for me to often break down what I'm doing. Friendly Truffle, trying to figure out what you do, where you go on the way back. Yeah, I'm curious if there's like a mechanism in the level that will send us to a different area. It's not clear to me what happens next. Well, it's down there, right? You can see the area below. The exit to the level is kind of scrunched over right at the beginning. All right, so hold right. So hold right, and then I just need to jump sooner. I wonder if you jump like almost as soon as you make it out of that track, rather than trying to line something up, if you'll make it. And it may be part of what I'm having trouble there. Sort of like overthinking it. No. So that's our new hiccup. I'm getting a lot of this part of the level down with a great level of consistency. I just cannot figure out what the timing is there. See, so like that jump is the right jump timing, but without momentum from the shells, and so you don't get across. Spicy Mustard, I finally bought and beat Yoku's Island Express. Fantastic game, I hope there's a sequel. Yeah, you and me both. Yoku's Island Express, I love video games that include pinball mechanics. And Yoku's Island Express was a game that did that in a Metroid-style game. I don't know how I didn't put that on my top 10 list. Is great shame. I should just go back into my top 10 list from last year and just say, you know what? I messed up. This was a mistake. Should have been in there. No one would notice. It's just there's a Wikipedia entry with an IP address at the bottom. Tear down this VOD. I mean, no evidence. No. New way to die. So part of what's difficult about it is the way the shells fall. So if you're falling, then you can't jump. And so you're somehow having to get momentum while the shells are still flat. So I think that's ultimately where I'm having difficulty is Mario needs to have just a tiny bit of push in order to make it to the other side, but the timing that I'm getting on, that I'm setting myself up for is, annoying. Stinker. There's enough time on that way back down that I really you shouldn't be messing up that jump that I just did. Let's check in on the internet. Oh, we're still in the opening statement. I haven't gotten a lot of messages from Brad, so can't be anything too wild happening. Ah. Oops. Bed Source beat Sayonara Wild Hearts a couple the other week. Unless I missed something, last few levels seem like the closest we'll get to an F-Zero on Switch. Yeah, F-Zero does seem like a franchise that Nintendo doesn't have a lot of interest in returning to. And Sayonara Wild Hearts, beautiful. Love that soundtrack. Love that game. Good chance Sayonara Wild Hearts is my favorite game this year. Like my number 1 and number 2 favorite games this year might be Sayonara Wild Hearts and Valfaris. What a weird year. Geostationary. The soundtrack is just on Spotify. It is. You know what I wish I wish more games had static modes. You know, like, so a static mode is like in arcade games, if you just, like, let them be, they would just run. Like, the game would play itself. You know, like, there'd be, like, the equivalent of a video playing. And I wish Sayonara Wild Hearts just had, like, the equivalent of a full-on Let's Play. An attract mode. Yes, an attract mode. That's what I meant. Where Sayonara Wild Hearts just played itself. And I could just, like, put it on in the background. Where not just the soundtrack is in the background, but the actual, like, visuals are in the background. Well, we're making progress, but this is, this level has just a degree of challenge that, I haven't quite played a level like this, in a long time. And it specifically has the thing that, was so difficult, like when I would play some of Dan Reichert's stages, which is that it's long. Like, I know it's 30 seconds, but it's a really dense 30 seconds. Like, it's packing in minutes of sequences into that 30 seconds. James Tar, a year where Mario Maker 2 is fifth on my list is a wild year. Yeah, I don't know where Mario Maker will end up sort of dropping for me. Ah, that's frustrating. That is really frustrating to make it over and then to just lose the momentum like that. Gatawag, I'm glad Patrick has intuitively figured out that by turning around backwards right before landing on the shells, you can minimize the forward slide a bit. Yeah, that's basically been the big revelation for me mechanically in order to, like, figure out the consistency of this first area. It doesn't fully stop Mario's movement, but it minimizes it to a degree that you don't have to do a lot of what I was trying to do on my first runs when we first encountered this level, which was you're just, like, running from left to right a lot, and so you're spending so much time positioning Mario and not spending enough time focusing on, like, things like your jumps. My wife is supposed to go to the P.O. box today. She told me she's headed there. We should hopefully have some new levels on Friday. Nightmare Liar, gotta go. Best of luck with the sugaries and child raising and all that stuff. See ya, Nightmare Liar. Say that every time. Look, man. The P.O. box is not in my hands. I do not work in Chicago. I do not have to walk a mile to get to the P.O. box. Now, I'm not going to criticize my wife for not spending more time out of her day to go get the letters. They're there. They'll be found. Iron Spy Patrick, you cancel the next Friday. I assume so. Probably. I haven't really thought about it. I mean, yeah, I'm not working. I'm having trouble, like, my capture kit is getting a little framey. I don't know if that's coming across in what you're saying, and OBS is not reporting any dropped frames, but it's, like, making the jumping seem a little strange. I think it seems framey. I'm just like I'm really having a lot of trouble with a bunch of these sections that I was doing without any issue. So now I'm looking for something to blame it on. See if I can. It really does seem like it's being a little goofy. Spin jump there at the end. Well, we're not supposed to take hints from from outside hints, but the creator of this level was in the stream last Friday, and there was speculation over whether I should spin jump, and they said no. So. I'm not gonna no spin jump. Maybe you could spin jump, but I don't know that it would make a huge amount of difference. It's possible. Maybe that's something where even though the creator says no spin jump, that it actually would be a way of kind of short-circuiting that whole area, or give me a chance. But I think. If I'm not making it across with the momentum, I believe, I don't know this exactly to be the case, but I would suspect that I'm not actually moving fast enough with the train. Infuriating. Like any sense of what to do on that first jump on the second train. Like I've not made any progress in internalizing like a better way to do it. I just keep making the same exact mistake, which is either I jump too soon or I jump too late. And making it over is just complete randomness, as opposed to a feeling that, okay, I wait a beat, I do this, like, and a lot of times the way that works is not necessarily me mapping that out. I just sort of do it enough times. It's like, oh yeah, I know how this works. It seems like if I hold right out of the gate, that I keep running into that issue where I'm falling. And so what I can't figure out is, does that mean... Ah! Seriously, I do not... Maybe I'm just waiting too long. James Tarr, is it possible to do it stationary? Is the momentum enough? I don't think so. I mean, it's possible that maybe I'm overthinking it, that I don't have to run, that I just need to hold right and jump. I don't think so. I think it operates like this, in which you have to create some of your own momentum. Seems like this, an Adaman, it seems like the shell is dropping from under your feet, making your jump impotent. Yeah, that's more or less like what the issue I keep running into is, because I think I'm running for too long. Nate. Oh, Nate. That's okay. Sorry. I'm just barely looking at these usernames when I'm glancing off playing the game at the same time, so apologies. Ah! Alright, so it is running immediately, and then I'm waiting too long. That is what I'm doing. I'm 100%. I just need to be jumping sooner. Not worry about lining it up. It's literally just it's just jumping sooner. Flapjack Sparrow, you got this. Thank you, Flapjack Sparrow. Appreciate that. Lion King, Lion King. Ooh, got some action. Got some messages coming in from the Brad feed. Can't see him though. Face ID doesn't get all the way over here. That is not great. So you can see it. You can see the drop happening. And the timing on that is just really tight. Come on. Don't know why I was ducking there. We made progress. I gotta remember that. We just haven't made progress in the direction I was hoping for. Because like it's so much more important to me that I would somehow be able to get that little jump down than it is the one of 10 times that I do land it. I randomly make some incremental progress on the stage because it's possible, I guess, that like one of those could just end up being the run, but I feel like I'm gonna need more time with the rest of the stage. I'm just not giving myself that time. Robich, loving your Ring Fit adventure article, by the way. Thank you. Yeah, as I mentioned up at the top, I wrote a piece about how Ring Fit Adventure has kind of helped me examine and get over some of my fear, guilt, shame, embarrassment, choose your term, in regards to exercise, and is a huge part of why I'd recommend other people check it out. Oh, man! Oh, man! Just completely zoned out. Alright, what are people telling me about? Okay. Nothing new. Shorthouse, just got started my first anti-vaping ad. Through Twitch? Interesting. That is brutal. So when you make that, you have to, your momentum is such. So what's with that arrow? I mean, it's possible that, like, depending on your timing, you could land in a more fortuitous way, but twice now, I've landed in a way that puts me at the edge of, the train, which is a problem. Ah. Man. That is brutal. Because you just don't... I mean, as the case with so many things on this level, the timing is just unbelievable. So I started moving left and still seemed to have like enough momentum. Where I couldn't get over. So I don't know if I need to do an air brake. Where you sort of pause Mario right as you're approaching that to try and buy yourself some space. Or if you do like a short hop, right? Like you get in, hop left, and use that to kind of reposition yourself. Yeah, I didn't feel good about that. My positioning was bad. I did feel better about like that landing spot. I was in the middle of the train, and so I feel like ideally, if you're launching off from the middle, you'll probably land on the middle. Whew. Okay, that's progress. That's progress, and that goes down to 3. That goes down to 3. 3 shells. The momentum there is very strange. I've now gotten used from going, instead of right to left, from left to right. With it, did anyone know what that got the timer down to? Is that down to 7 seconds? All right, I feel like I'm getting a little bit better at the section, getting onto the train. Of course, it's happening right as I'm gonna have to wind down the stream. I don't know how tight the timing is on the level. It's not always the case that levels that are 30 seconds necessarily take themselves right down to 30 seconds. I guess we would have been able to tell by the world record. So I doubt this is a a level in which there's like a ton of wiggle room on the world record. So essentially the world record is more or less what the completion time is. Ah! Alright, so at least what I know is I'm gonna duck under the fire after that. My issue once I've landed is that I'm spending a lot of time like repositioning myself when I just need to go right, because you need to be continuing to go right with the momentum of the train in order to land on those 3 shells. Alright, I'm gonna give myself 3 chances. Having done a successful leap off onto the train. Before we wind this down. Probably the most frustrating part of the limited time I have to do. That's one. It's one. Is that right as I get towards the end of the hour is like often when I'm at like the peak of my finger powers, and it takes a little bit of time to get back there. Iron Spy, it's great how you develop the muscle memory for the first part and then it reverses it on the way back. Yeah, it's a very clever way of subverting, like how you start internalizing a challenging stage. In a way that is delightfully evil. That was me just, being a goofer, being a stinker, in the words of Jessica. So my guess is you get onto the 3 shells. You go under the fire, and there's probably like one more sequence. Ins for in. I wonder if there's a way to make a consistent progression of levels to make the warm-up process faster. Well, it's really less about warming up like my fingers specifically as much as if I'm playing a specific level, right? So it's like I can start completely blank on a stage and be in a good place. The difference is like when you're playing a level that has like you've like finely ingrained muscle memory. It takes a little while to essentially rev the engine on a specific level all over again, as opposed to like just getting in the Mario Maker mode. I mean, there's a little bit of that, but like that like general feel for the game comes online pretty quick. It's really more about remembering, oh right, like this is the specific cadence of movement in this stage. BSB Care 1, the greatest on this level is that it's dense, but it's not making Patrick frustrated like other difficult levels. Yeah, it all feels eminently accomplishable. It's the density, it's the timing, but like there's nothing about this stage that is ridiculous in the way that sometimes like it's other than this, like this is the one section that I just am continually stumped by and frustrated by. And that may just be me, right? Like that may just be me not figuring out the trick of consistency, because there's nothing about this level that is inconsistent. It is the same thing over and over again. That's 2. Gatterwag, I needed a specific way of timing that drop jump, but it was the hardest part of the level for me. Yeah, it is. I agree. And that's 3. That's it. That's gonna do it for Mario Maker Mornings. That has been me playing this level. Your host, Patrick. What a great exit, Patrick. Well, we can try and get another run in while I do this outro. You can find archives for this at twitch.tv/Patrick Klepek. You can find the archives on YouTube at youtube.com/Patrick Klepek 24 hours after they happen on Twitch. If you enjoy the channel and can spare your Twitch sub or would like to subscribe directly, all money on this channel goes toward my daughter's college fund. If you do not have the means to do that, that's cool. Don't worry about it. Just enjoy the stream. Enjoy yourself. There's a P.O. box to send in levels if you'd like to see your level played on this stream. My wife is going to that P.O. box today, so if you, like others, have been frustrated that we have not had postcard levels in a while, don't you worry. They're coming. I guess as soon as we finish this stage. So maybe on Friday, but maybe not. We'll see. Found my work at Patrick Klepek. You can see all my writing at waypoint.vice.com. This is it. This will be the last run. Okay, we'll just take this till I ride or die. Take this until I die. This is it. This is the run. Nope. My capture kit dropped a frame, and that's it.